Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Bassa. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Usman Dembele, as it has been reported that PSG will sign the Barca forward for 50 million by activating a private clause, according to Fabrizio Romano. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Xavi Hernandez vetoed Barca move for Ruben Neves and could repeat it with another Portuguese star. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. As news about Ousmane Dembele and his imminent move to PSG continues to dominate the headlines, Fabrizio Romano has come up with an update on the matter. PSG expressed an interest in signing the Frenchman and upped the ante over the past week, with the player himself agreeing to move to the Parc des Princes. Le Parisiens had the option of triggering Dembele's €50 million release clause, but did not do so before the July 31 deadline, and now the exit clause value stands at €100 million. As such, it was claimed that the two clubs will now negotiate a transfer fee for Dembele and finalize the operation. But according to Romano, PSG will still sign Dembele for the €50 million amount, but not by activating his exit clause. The Italian journalist states that by sending Barcelona a formal letter on Monday expressing their intention to sign the player, the Ligue 1 champions triggered a private clause which will allow them to loan him for the same €50 million. Romano goes on to add that the move will be very likely be completed by the end of this week, possibly after the Barca camp returns from the US pre-season tour. Another report from Andy and Onrubia claims that the entire €50 million fee will end up in the club's coffers. If PSG had activated a €50 million exit clause, it was stipulated in Dembele's contract that half that sum would go to him and his agent, and Barca would receive the rest. But with the Parisians not triggering the release clause and that no longer being active, this is seen as a normal transfer and the club would stand to receive the entire fee, claims on Rubio. There is still some lack of clarity about the same, and more developments are expected in the coming hours. But what is certain is that Dembele will be moving to PSG and that the transfer could be completed by the end of the week. Of course, there is no question about Dembele's move to PSG, as with each passing day, we get the reports of Dembele's move to PSG. Very, very possible. Of course, as Fabrizio Romano have come to clarify certain things. So the price that Dembele will be bought will still be 50 million. Most likely be 50 million. Let's not just conclude. It most likely will be 50 million. We quite remember, before the 1st of August, Dembele had that release clause of 50 million. And many speculated that PSG will enter the picture as soon as possible to activate it before the 1st of August to avoid it going double 100 million. But despite that, Fabrizio Romano have come out to still insist that the agreement will be for 50 million still. And this time around, the good thing is Barca will stand to gain because we know that, yes, since the 1st of August have reached that clause that stipulates that Dembele will receive half of that 50 million, which is 25. It is no more true because it have expired. So the 50 million, if it is being paid, will entirely be Barca's money, and I think that would be great, isn't it? But let's see if things can change because the two clubs have not even formally negotiated as to how much they want to sell Dembele. But that's just what Fabrizio said. We know he's a reliable person. So, of course, PSG have already activated a private agreement with Dembele's agents, and 50 million looks like the price tag for the player as things stand. So the move looks very likely as it stands right now. So PSG will sign him for 50 by activating that private clause. Of course, Dembele has shocked everyone. Dembele have shocked everyone because not many saw this coming. Out of a sudden, PSG just expressed their desire to sign him, and because of Barca's being desperate for their, for money, that's if because I didn't think Barca was a club that was financially stable. I don't think they could have just easily given to whatever proposal or whatever thing that PSG is saying. They could have held that Dembele is not going anywhere. But now Laporta, the board, they know for sure that Dembele's move will still greatly help the club's coffers. And of course, that's the reason why we are seeing the way things are panning out. Xavi is disappointed. Many fans are disappointed why Dembele had to leave, despite the loyalty that he has been claiming he has for this club and for Xavi. But at the end of the day, we see that the money is the factor. The offer he received was 20 million compared to the 4.5 million that Barca was paying. And I think that was enough tempting factor for him to depart. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. AS journalist Javi Miguel has offered a key insight into Barca's pursuit of Ruben Neves. Miguel suggests Xavi had pulled the plug on the Neves deal just when it was about to be completed. Now, the Barca coach could do the same for another Portuguese player who is represented by Jorge Mendes. Um, Neves was a hot topic at Barca earlier this summer. The former Wolves star had emerged as one of the club's options in their bid to sign a replacement for Busquets. The Barca board, thanks to their excellent relationship with Jorge Mendes, had pushed for the signing of Neves. However, the coaching staff was not on board with the idea, with Xavi in particular refusing to sign the Portuguese owing to his lack of defensive acumen. Neves ended up accepting a lucrative proposal from Al Hilal, where he has become teammates with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic and former Barca star Malcolm. So who is the next Portuguese star? The tweet from Javi Miguel suggests Xavi could end up blocking a deal for yet another Portuguese target for Barca, represented by Egen Mendes. The three potential candidates are João Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, and João Felix. All three of them have been heavily linked with the move to the Camp Nou recently, especially amid Ousmane Dembele's exit links. However, Felix is a likely victim as the Atletico Madrid forward is not completely rated by Xavi. In contrast, the Barca coach is a massive fan of Silva and Cancelo. He wants both players to join Barca ahead of the new season. While that might not be a possibility, it is apparent that Barca could still stall the pursuit of Felix because of Xavi, despite reports suggesting that the Portuguese international is the closest to joining the club. So guys, with that we have come to an end. Please, if you haven't subscribed, endeavor to subscribe so you always stay in touch whenever I post a new video. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.